my name is Jacob Johnston, and don't believe everything you hear. Don't believe everything you read, and only believe half of what you see. A quote by Earl Simmons, a prolific mind, poet, and philosopher of England's 18th century. Well, I almost got you, didn't I? He actually wasn't of the 18th century, he was actually of today. And he wasn't born in England, he was born in New York. To be more accurate, you probably know him as DMX. In the beginning of young Earl's life, he was seemingly born to be a linguistic lyricist. Just to get a free sandwich from his favorite deli, Landy's, he would study till the sun came up, dictionary, definition, and how the word is spelled. Of course, it came natural to young Earl, but that wasn't always a good thing. Obviously, from who he turned out to be, his infatuation with words helped him greatly, but because it came so easy, he would get easily bored. The only thing to keep him going was the promise of a hot meal, something that his jobless mother could not give him. According to his autobiography, Earl, ever, always, real life. Earl questions his efforts by asking himself, if I'm still going to get 100%, why should I do more than I have to? Earl's mindset towards this would find him getting into a lot of trouble, finding any way to stimulate his understimulated brain. He would steal and pick with fights with anyone he could see. The first incarceration of Earl's life would be when he was sentenced by the Board of Education to the Julia Dyckman Andrews Children's Home. After the sentencing, Earl's life would change drastically, and during his stay, life was so easy, he had every meal hot, he even had a snack, 3 square meals a day. When he got out, it was back to what he grown not accustomed to anymore because of his time there. Finding things to do under the watchful eye was easy as long as that they were illegal. Arson, burglary, and trespassing were all too common for Earl, and his biological father left his hometown of Yonkers, New York. Earl felt that he lost all guidance. His crimes would escalate, and in high school, Earl worried about money and how to support himself. He resorted to robbing, saying, if you got money and I don't, it's on, I'm taking yours. His obsession with dogs would soon develop during this time, and according to encyclopedia.com, Earl would develop strong bonds with dogs. He found a stray in a junkyard that he would name Blackie. He loved this dog, but unfortunately, after many complaints by the neighbors of the barking and chasing after them, the police came to take Blackie, but Blackie bit a police officer and fought back. They had to put it down and right in front of Earl's eyes. I literally mean shoot it right in front of Earl. With many bad motivations in his life, Earl clinged on to his beatboxing and beatmaking career. It was the only thing to keep himself sane, and after desperation from money and drugs, he robbed his high school with a shotgun in his pants, only to escape with his bunkmate after he was imprisoned. That bunkmate left him alone in the middle of the forest, and he found a house. He hid in the basement of this random family's home, and it was here that he decided he would become DMX the rapper. The hardest challenge that DMX had to face was when he was arrested for tax fraud. Although it could have been worse, his 14 charges were reduced down to 1, and he avoided a 44-year sentence. That would have been probably a life sentence. The government followed DMX until they had enough evidence to charge him, and according to Forbes.com, DMX went out of his way to avoid any taxes that he had to pay. He would only deal in cash, and he refused to pay or to cash in checks and to accept checks that were already pre-taxed, many from TV companies and artists that he were being paid by. According to UPI.com, DMX must now pay $2.3 million in restitution to the government. This, along with the year-long sentence from November 2017 to January 25th, 2019, would be his toughest challenge yet. Of course, he is out now. Coming out, DMX stated that he is stronger than ever, and he learned to overcome these challenges in his life and to make more music that he loves to do. Although my obstacles were not similar to DMX's, I also have overcome diversity, and after many years of struggling in a worn-down trailer home, my father came to my mother and I, saying that we were so poorly off because he had a gambling addiction. Struck like a bomb, we left. We left the home, and I have not seen my father since. This was 5 years ago. This sudden change in my life hit me hard, and I began to binge eat out of anxiousness. I was pulled from all my friends and family, and it sent me down a dark hole of depression that it took years to recover from. I learned a lot about DMX and how his life led to who he is today. How your upbringing affects you and turns you into who you are. Most importantly, I learned to pay taxes. Who would have thought that what it was going to give me was the knowledge and understanding that everything you say and do comes from experience. You can learn anything from the speech. I hope that it would at least be that you know how the Rough Riders roll now. Thank you.